Hello and welcome to a new video and trading week with Stein Investments. In today's video, I would like to set the focus on the AI analysis from the beginning to the end and when is the best timing for doing such an analysis, simply because I've been asked several questions during the past days, and so I thought we could go through that process step by step. So the very first thing I usually do is to check the total trading volume, because it is essential to know, let's say, the weather in the market, if it's stable or unstable, and to determine what is the best timing for new trading opportunities. The point is, I'm shooting this video now in the afternoon session after the New York opening, because I missed this up move here in the total trading volume this morning. And if you do your analysis too late, as I usually 1 hour after the London morning session open, then I saw we have already reached a pretty straight rise in the total trading volume, and you see the trends here in the US dollar and the Canadian dollar have been evolving very good. But at a certain time, this slows down and then there is nothing to win anymore. And so I usually prefer to await such a dip like you see here and then wait until the trading volume stabilizes again, because the market is moving in waves and so does the retail trading volume. And that's why right now is a pretty excellent point in time to run a new AI analysis. Apart from that, we should also check the economic calendar. I use Forex Factory for this purpose, because it's essential to know if there are any upcoming high impact news events. As on Wednesday, for example, the core CPI news for the US dollar are a major and critical news event, I would say, similar to central bank news events. And so this needs to be considered on Wednesday, especially because institutional investors don't position themselves or take any additional risks up front such high impact news. Today is a very calm day. We had bank holidays in Germany, in France, and in Switzerland. And apart from that, there are no high impact news, and the same is true for tomorrow. So this makes it a very calm day and maybe some good moves during the next 24 hours. So that said, I would say we move on to Perplexity, which is the AI provider of our choice these days. And I will run a time lapse analysis because I like to see how the market evolved during the past hour. To do so, I use the AI prompt that is exported by EasyInsight. And the name convention for this prompt is pretty easy, because in this case it says which tools are used: FX Power, FX Volume, FX Dynamics, and FX Levels for this purpose. Then we do a time lapse analysis, and we added our personal experience to this, and this is done by 2 parameters in the EasyInsight properties. You'll find a detailed description in the parameter description of EasyInsight, and then it adds some information about how we judge the dynamic of the power lines and how we judge the volume. So first things first, we add this prompt, let it import, it's done now, and then we add the data files, and I will use the last 5 ones to cover the entire last hour of the market. Let them import. So it seems to be done now. And in case this is not colored, then it's not ready yet and it's waiting for a prompt or an order what to do. And in this case, I will say, please analyze as written in the txt file. And you can see Now it's doing the analysis, and we have to wait for a few seconds until it's processing all the data given by these 5 CSVs, and then we'll go back to the final result in a few seconds. Instead of seconds, it took several minutes until the result is available, and it found several opportunities with an interesting dynamic, but I don't want to trade all of them, and so I will ask for the top recommendations. Please provide me the top recommendations. So the top recommendations are mainly related to the yen, as we can see here. Gold against the yen, US dollar against the yen, euro against the yen, and then 2 other pairs as well. Additional strong setups are also suggested. And so there is a summary table, and I would say I go with this summary and trade him as suggested. So I do this aside, then I will move to my trading screen. This one, Perplexity Multi-CSV, this is the one I use for the time lapse analysis, and then I start with gold against the Japanese yen. Yeah, we see there is a solid uptrend. Gold is going dynamically upwards. You see the 4-hour line is pretty often at the opposite extreme. The midterm line is also rising, and the long term as well, while the Japanese yen is constantly weak. And so given the 76% ATR range of today, there is potential left, and so I will go with a buy and a not so tight stop, maybe somewhere here, and take profit on the other side. Then we have the US dollar yen. Oh yeah, I see pretty good dynamic to the upside after this drop during the morning session, but there are also interesting resistance level here. This one is probably less important, but the older they are, the more important they become. And so I would say if we go to the upside here, we can do so with a stop loss in this region and a profit target maybe up to here. I doubt it will have the power to move on until the 11 days old resistance here. Then we have the euro against the yen. Just this one, and there is the next profit target here, this 3 days old resistance level, so I will use this one as profit target. Then we have the US dollar against the Canadian dollar, which is right in a resistance zone, and so I will skip this opportunity because chances are pretty good that it will drop to the downside, even though the Canadian dollar is clearly falling to the downside, but I'm not really sure if it will be enough power to move through this or break through this resistance level, especially considering that US dollar and Canadian dollar are usually pretty high correlated if they are not fighting against their tariffs. So then we have, last but not least, the gold against the Aussie dollar pair, and it is also in this mini resistance, a pretty new one, 7 hours ago. The next one is here, this 2 days also. I will trade this one with a safe stop loss on this side and a profit target on this side. And that's it for this afternoon. Right now, we'll see in 1 or 2 hours if the trade recommendations based on Perplexity and our time-lapse files would have worked. If you like to get the tools we are using here, then have a look at our Welcome at Stein Investments page, which is our central hub for all information around our software portfolio. Here you'll find EasyInsight for MT4 and MT5, as well as EasyInsight all in one, and the FAQ. And in this FAQ you'll find several questions answered around this wonderful new method of analyzing the market. And right below at the bottom you will find a $10 discount for Perplexity Pro as well. If you use this link and subscribe, you can use the Pro version of Perplexity, which offers you access to Claude, GPT-4, Gemini, Grok, and what else within just one subscription. And here is also a link to the tutorial video of how this works exactly. So that's it. We are done for the moment, waiting for the result later on, and I'll keep you posted and catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.